return of Trump. This is just so exciting. And, I mean, look at this. We came from this. They shot him. They've arrested him. They've gotten a mugshot. They got all these corrupt criminal cases against him in New York with corrupt judges, corrupt lawsuits, and look, here we are. And if you did not watch Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA rally in Georgia, you missed something. I mean, it was spectacular. And, of course, the president was the headliner, but before he came out, there were incredible people there. And you know, Tucker Carlson, they're all great speeches, but Tucker Carlson had an incredible speech. He said, Daddy's coming home and he's pissed. It's true. And, you know, he has a right to be pissed. Aren't you pissed? I mean, you know, this very desperate, deep state, pathetic move. Oh, he's, you know, General Kelly says he's got Hitler-like qualities. You know, give me a break. You know, they are in a panic. The reason they're in a panic, it's not just because they're losing power. That's part of it. That's always been a theme with their dislike of Trump. But another part of it is that they've been doing a lot of crimes. Tell me in the chat, yes or no, do you think the United States deep state are responsible for this, the shooting of Donald Trump at Butler? Or do you think it was this lone punk kid who never had a girlfriend? Which do you think it is? Let me know. And, you know, they've been doing all kinds of crimes, right? Through this, the lawfare, you know, I don't have to go through the list, you know? And now Trump's coming back. And they've been doing some hardcore crimes, right? They've been doing some hardcore crimes, a lot of them. So they're panicked. And I got to turn the air conditioning on. It's Florida after all. And they're all right. I don't mind people that disagree, but do me a favor. No spamming. They're worried about their freedom because they know, think about all the things that we know that they've done. They know all the things they've done, right? All the stuff that we don't know about, they know. And when Kamala came out yesterday with that speech at the White House and with the vice presidential seal calling him Hitler and all this crap yesterday, that was one of the most sad, disgusting, pathetic things a presidential candidate has ever said less than 2 weeks before the election. I'll tell you this. Tucker Carlson made, all the speeches were good last night, but Tucker Carlson made some really good points. And Bobby Kennedy too, you know. The Democrat Party is now the party of the neocons, of Dick Cheney. Think about that. And Mitt Romney. The neocons are now the Democrat Party. I mean, that's insane. And they're done. They're done. You know, the early voting turnout nationwide is massive in favor of Republicans. Republican early voting turnout nationwide is at its highest level ever in the history of Republican early voting. Ever. Democrats, their early voting turnout is historically low. This is an important thing to understand about Democrats. Their entire strategy in the elections is the early vote. And when their early vote is down, they're done. The Democrat machine is broken. It ain't working. And I'm excited, man. I am so freaking excited. The return of Trump to the White House is nothing short of a miracle. Nothing short of a miracle. And Kamala last night, I'm going to, on the next stream when I'm on the radio in about 90 minutes, I'm going to go through this disastrous town hall meeting. Excuse me, guys. This disastrous town hall meeting that Kamala Harris had on CNN last night, moderated by Anderson Cooper. It was disastrous for Kamala, and I mean, it was even David Axelrod and the panel on CNN after were talking about how cringe it was and what a disaster it was for Kamala Harris. The highlights of it on the stream. Supporter, if there is such a thing, would look at this town hall and be like, oh my gosh, it's scary that somebody so stupid, someone so vacuous has gotten to where she is. But President Trump at Turning Point last night put it perfectly. He said she hasn't gotten a single vote, and now we see why. You know, year of democracy, she hasn't gotten a single vote. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Brian. This is where Maga comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. On my next stream, I'll be at the radio station, live on the radio, taking live calls. You can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can call me. If you're listening to me on the radio or somewhere else, you can call me. Oh, it is absolutely amazing and a miracle. And you know, the thing about the return of Trump, we're going to go dark MAGA, people. Dark MAGA. Do you mind? We're in dark MAGA mode now, but that's okay. You know, on yesterday's morning stream on the radio, I heard from liberals, Democrats, throughout the show. You may have heard them. Each and every one was more unhinged than the one before them. It was, I mean, because it's all coming down. I want you to think about it now. General Kelly and Cheney, you know, all these people, you know, all the crimes they've been doing, and now Trump's coming back. Who's his attorney general going to be? And there has to be investigations into this and arrest. But Tucker Carlson at Turning Point USA in Georgia, he spoke before Trump. He made so many great points, and one, he was talking about these neocons, the Cheneys and the Bushes that are now Democrats. Isn't that crazy? You know, all our lives we've heard this bullcrap liberal urban legend of the big switch between the parties, and we've just seen a big switch. The neocon Republican establishment of the Iraq War WMD line war criminals have now become Democrats. That's crazy. The big switch. But Tucker Carlson made so many great points, and one of them was this. He talked about the neocons, the Cheneys and their WMD lies, and how they have just not just destabilized the Middle East and caused who knows how many deaths because of their WMD lies, but that they've destabilized all of Europe because they caused this massive evacuation of Muslims from the Middle East into Europe. And Europe, parts of it have collapsed. I mean, look at England. England's lost. It's an Islamic state now. I'm sorry, I know we got some people watching, you know. I say England, not UK. I know it's, you know, I understand what the UK is, and I feel sorry for you guys. But you guys are lost. You're a tiny little country. You've been taken over. And Tucker said Brexit is a direct result of the Cheney-Bush neocon WMD lie. And he made a very detailed case for that. I thought it was brilliant. I mean, look at who we've got. We've got Bobby Kennedy Jr. Who would have ever thought that you would see not just a Kennedy, but he's a top Kennedy, him and his demented cousin, Caroline, who's ambassador to Australia. She was ambassador to Japan. She's President Kennedy's daughter. She's a nut. But Bobby Kennedy is the heir of the family. He's the head of the Kennedy family. And we've got him at a Republican event, speaking before a Republican president. Who would have thought? And I watched Bobby Kennedy's entire speech at Turning Point in Georgia yesterday. That guy is so freaking smart, isn't he? It's like seeing President Kennedy or his dad. I'm sure they're looking down proud of him. I mean, he is, the things that Bobby Kennedy brought up in his speech yesterday were just blew my mind. You know, we've got these great thinkers. You know, I was very interested in what Bobby Kennedy was talking about with the chronic illness and obesity rates in America today compared to when his uncle, President Kennedy, was president. And it's insane. They're killing Americans. You know, this country is under attack. You know, we're under attack from our own corrupt leadership. That's it. Because they're all on the take. All the officials in Washington are all on the take, whether it's China, whether it's big pharma, you know, whether it's the farm industry, whatever it is, they're all on the take. The military-industrial complex. None of them are legit. And Bobby Kennedy is just a freaking genius. I was very impressed by him last night. You know, and I know that's his passion. But President Trump said a few weeks back that he was going to put Bobby Kennedy in charge of this presidential committee investigating presidential assassinations, which of course will be investigating Butler, the golf course here in Florida, and of course the assassination of President Kennedy, which all that needs to be 100% declassified. My goodness. It's been over 60 years. You know, they need to declassify everything. Anyone that was involved in the President Kennedy assassination, in any meaningful role, is either dead or over 100 years old. All that needs to be declassified. You know, and here we are, all this time after the golf course assassin, this monster in Butler, we don't know jack about either of these guys. And, you know, it was over a month ago, I made that video, which if you've not seen it, please watch it. I went to the golf course and stood where that golf course assassin stood and followed his entire route from where he was staking out the president to his escape route to where he was arrested. And I did that on a Thursday, and it was the Thursday after the assassination attempt of President Trump. And I did it on a Thursday because they had that road blocked off for a few days while the investigation was going on. Yes, we're in dark MAGA mode, people. And when they opened up the road, I went and did it immediately the next morning when I got off the radio. And I rushed to do it because I figured that area that a bunch of people, news outlets and YouTubers and everything else, were going to go there and do it. And I wanted to do it first. And here it is, over a month later, or about a month, no one else has done that. And I don't understand that. You know how many freaking media outlets and everything we have here? President Trump lives here. It was at his own golf course. We don't know anything about that guy. Where was he staying? How long was he here? Who was he living with? Was that vehicle he was in registered to him or someone else? Was he staying with someone here in South Florida? If not, where was he staying? Was it a motel, a house? Was he living in that car? We know nothing. They don't want us to know. That's right. What we do know is both the Butler shooter and the golf course assassin are both in BlackRock videos. So that's a connection between the two. Deep state military industrial complex connection. They don't want you to know that either. But we know. And like Tucker Carlson said last night, Daddy's coming home and Daddy's pissed, and he's going to get to the bottom of it. Daddy Trump, that's right. Now, if you're new to my channel, guys, make sure that you subscribe. I'm heading to the radio station now. But this is one of those times, guys. This is the MAGA movement is the largest political movement in American history. There's never been anything like it. There's never been a president like President Trump that's had this kind of following. And if you're watching Turning Point USA last night, you could feel the energy. You know what is going on. These people are sick. But you know, Kamala Harris on that town hall, she was with Anderson Cooper last night, was brutal. And you gotta whatever factor of devastation it was to her campaign, you gotta multiply it by a factor of 4 to 10, because CNN doesn't put town halls together for Democrat presidential candidates to make them look bad. They put town halls together on CNN to promote Democrats and make them look good. And Anderson Cooper just ended it for Kamala in that town hall last night on CNN. Yes, dark MAGA mode off. Someone already has Christmas lights up. My wife decorates for Christmas, starts decorating for Christmas the day after Halloween at our house. So the day after Halloween, all the Halloween stuff around the house goes into the garage, and all the Christmas stuff starts coming out. And this is going to be a great Christmas because Trump is back. President-elect President Trump. No more of this former president crap by the news media all the time. All right. Dark MAGA mode engaged. Doesn't get better than this, guys. It does not get better than this. I mean, for President Trump to be back with, I mean, everything they've done to him, and he's still back. And didn't he look great last night? He looked spectacular. And you could tell, you know, when he came up there to speak, he looked completely stress-free. Not a worry in the world. President Trump looks fabulous. Not a worry in the world. His body was completely relaxed. You could see it in his face, his mannerisms. Kamala at the town hall, on the other hand, was a nervous wreck. She was completely out of it. Oh, these are exciting times, people. Exciting times. Hold on. All right, coming back into some civilization with some street lights. I'm still in dark MAGA mode, but slightly elevated, lifted here. Slight illumination. That's okay. All right, back to dark MAGA mode. I mean, look who we have. Tulsi Gabbard, Bobby Kennedy, the richest man in the world who sent another rocket into space yesterday, Elon Musk. Who do they have? Jennifer Garner, Mark Hamill, Michael Keaton, Bruce Springsteen. A bunch of washed up celebrities no one gives a crap about. No, we've got the winners. We got the winners. And, you know, Charlie Kirk was another one. Did Charlie Kirk look like he had a worry in the world? And Charlie Kirk is an insider in the Trump orbit. And Charlie Kirk, he's seen the internal polls. He knows what's going on. But like Charlie Kirk said yesterday at Turning Point in Georgia, they're not just giving up. They're not sitting back and saying, well, it's over. There's a lot of scared people. They're you know, these General Flynn types, what they're acting like are fugitives from justice. They keep saying that Trump's going to put them in jail because they know they've been doing crime. But they justify it. They you know, they're so in love with themselves and feel they're so morally superior and all. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk, people. Make no mistake about that. Oh man, I'm juiced up in the morning just knowing the countdown to the return of President Trump is almost here, less than 2 weeks away. You know, and I've been getting DMs on all my different platforms all week from people that, you know, listen to me on the radio or my podcast or here on YouTube, telling me they voted for Trump. People are so excited to vote for Trump. And, you know, here's something they're not factoring in. Republican turnout, as I said at the beginning of the stream, is at a record high. Record high. Democrat early voting turnout is at a historic low. And a lot of these Democrats that are turning out to vote early are voting for Trump. This isn't a primary. This is the general election, baby. So we've got to, you know, think about that. Now, how many of them are voting for Trump? Who knows? But they are. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, yeah. And, I mean, you look at these interviews that CNN and MSNBC are doing with voters that are historically Democrat voters. They're all voting for Trump. And if you even look at the town hall with the questioners at the CNN town hall with Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris. By the way, in 2 weeks, we won't have to worry about them trying to correct how we pronounce their name. Kamala, I don't know what the hell her name is. But it'll be over. She'll retire. She'll go to the vice presidential retirement home. Vice presidents fade away. You never really hear from them too much. Rarely. Al Gore had a run for a while, but even he's out of the picture. And guys that are already subscribed, please like the video, guys. That helps a lot. Yes, we're in dark Maga mode. I like dark Maga mode. It's almost a faceless video here. Too many cars on the road today. Well, it is early. It's not quite 5 a.m. yet here on the East Coast. This area I'm driving through now was hit pretty bad by Hurricane Milton. You know, Ron DeSantis is like, Ron DeSantis allied himself with these neocons. He's screwed up. He's missing the greatest political movement in history, our governor here in Florida. All right, where am I? Okay. What an exciting freaking time. No doubt about it. It really is beautiful. You know, when Trump ended his first term, you know, I started talking then when he comes back and has a second non-consecutive term, what a mandate he's going to have. But who would have dreamed that his popularity would rise to this level? You know, you guys got to remember, CNN is even reporting that Trump's popularity is higher today than ever. Now, listen, guys, I got to run, but if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video, all right? My name is Brian. The next stream will be in an hour. It's already set up. It's about Kamala's town hall disaster. I'll see you there after we... Oh, hold on. We got to take care of this guy first. Look at this. I mean, look at what we got here. Hold on. Children. Well, you know, it's coming up on 5 a.m. here on the East Coast. Some of these trolls, it's coming up on 2 a.m. for them on the West Coast. So, you know, they pull their crap. All right, guys, I'll see you in an hour on the next stream.